I'm Ryan Avery, Rockslide. I'm here with Brad Brooks from Argali. 2024, they got some exciting new products to come out. Brad, take it away.
So we got our brand new sawtooth knife. This thing actually won't be live till the end of February. This is our brand new MagnaCut steel knife. It's our biggest knife in our ultralight knife lineup. So it has a 3¼ inch blade on it. Super sharp. You have a 4-inch handle on it, so a really nice hand feel, no matter if you have big hands or small hands. Just a great ultralight field butchering knife, do-it-all knife, but it's also great for at-home butchering on your kitchen counter, just cutting up animals. So it's brand new. Be available on our website on the 27th of February. You can also buy it at Hunt Expo if you're at Hunt Expo. Do you want to know about the stove, Ryan?
I do want to know the stove, but the price point?
Oh, $235 for this guy right here.
And when did you say they're coming? When can you buy them?
You can buy them at the show or at 26th of February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And you got a whole, that's your 4th knife or 5th knife?
4th knife we've come out with, yeah.
The only one that really buys the Serac.
Yeah, the Serac is a very popular knife.
Serac is the knife to buy. I mean, that's cool. The Serac is, you're looking for a knife?
You know the great thing about knives, Ryan,
Yep.
is they kind of can fit your personality, right? So
Yes.
So whatever your personality, whatever your personal preference.
In your line of knives, what is the most popular?
Man, that's tough. I'd say the Serac is probably the most popular overall. Yeah, which is, okay, fair point. You're right.
So you're coming out with some stoves.
Yes.
So there's lots, like this is my own greed, there's lots of stoves on the market. Why should somebody buy yours?
Great question. I'll talk about our stove. I think for the volume you get is probably one of the lightest, if not the lightest on the market for a box style stove. That's largely because for a titanium stove, we don't have any steel all thread to connect the box together, which adds a lot of weight. So we have inside here titanium L brackets on the top and the bottom. And so we engineered a way to connect the stove together that just cuts out any steel parts that would add unnecessary weight to the product. And we also have these fold-up legs, so the leg design also cuts quite a bit of weight. So the legs fold up underneath, you pop them out, and then you can just set this thing down. So anyways, great in terms of weight, space. It's just a great size at I think a very reasonable weight at just over 2 pounds for the whole setup.
So say I don't have one of your tents and I run it in a different tent.
Yeah.
Do you call in to get the actual pipe sizing? Do you sell different sizes?
Yeah, we
Just
sell
one size?
Yep, so we sell stovepipes up to 12 feet in length, so you can run this in any other, I should say most other tents out there, even if you don't have one of our tents.
And what was the actual, what do they call it, cubic, what do they call them in stove, cubic space? I know, what is that, an 18-inch or 16-inch long?
15 inches
15
long,
inch?
yep. You're about 8 inches wide and about 10 inches tall. So I can't remember the volume off the top of my head.
Right.
I should know all the stats, but I don't, even though I designed it. But it's we've also made ours kind of longer than most other stoves out there, just because I always find that, especially when you're breaking sticks with your foot, it seems like they always break a little longer than you like. So added a little bit of extra length in there so you can get longer pieces of wood in there.
And I noticed on your titanium, the stovepipe there's a lot of shitty titanium stovepipes. This is a little thicker. It doesn't look like saran wrap when you're done, and you have to fight it to get it back together. So it's that's kind of cool.
Yep, and it's a pure grade 2 titanium. There's 5 different grades of titanium. Pure grade 2 is kind of, I think, as good as you can get for a stove. So it is important to know what kind of titanium you're getting with the stove, because different alloys perform differently when you're burning a fire in them, but this works really well.
Another thing that really, really cool to see Brad, you can tell Brad uses his products. In, out, you get the soot build up and you're going back into your case like everybody else has the pipe in the case, and you just get a lot of crap in there from your pipe. I'm glad he had a separate bag for it.
It also allows for for packability, it's just easier if you can split these 2 pieces up to fit them in your pack. You can run this on the outside of your pack, under your lid. It's just easier for backpacking around with the stove. And I'll say the one last thing that we did, that's a simple thing, but in the carrying case here, you have a zippered pouch to hold your wing nuts and your rings so you don't lose them.
Fire starter,
yep, whatever you want in there, so you don't have to dump all your small pieces in the bag, which I've lost a bunch of them trying to do that, especially if you have some snow on the ground. You set your stove down, you pull everything out, a wing nut falls in the snow, you're not going to find it again, most likely. So just a simple thing, helps with portability and packing your stove around. So,
all right.
This is our Skyline TI stove.
What's the price point?
$435.
What's the total weight with the You know, have a weight with the case and everything.
Case adds 7 ounces, so it adds a bit of weight. Personally, so you can probably cut a little bit of weight by not carrying a case around, but I do think it's worth having a nice durable case to keep, because it's a lot of soot that collects after you use the stove. It all stays in here, and then this thing is durable, so you're not going to poke a hole in your case. It's not going to poke a hole in any other gear if it's inside your pack.
Well, and just having a good case keeps everything clean, because these do get dirty.
They get really dirty over time. So,
all right, so you also have a tarp coming out.
We have a tarp coming out. We're a reveal. We're doing a reveal right now. I like it. Our Talus tarp is coming out. It's an 8x10 flat cut tarp. Guy line adjusters kind of sewn in throughout the tarp. Kind of meant to be a flexible tarp. You've been able to run it a bit, so a lot of flexibility with how you pitch it. You can use it as a primary shelter, gear shelter. You can run it, high as like a rain shelter for like cooking and hanging out in if you want to.
It's a 10.5. It's a 10 by 8.5, correct?
Yes. Sorry, 10.5. Yeah.
And I used it. I probably pitched it 15, 16 times this year, and it's built right. It comes in it sounds heavy when you see the weight, but it has all the guy outlines in it. And the cool part is, what do you call a little piece in the middle with the round? I don't know what the technical term is that.
Yep, so we have like a reinforced fabric essentially. Yep.
So you can jam a trekking pole in there and make it nice and easy, a little tent real quick in a snowstorm. You saw it, Luke, when we went to southern Idaho and hunted, and those squalls came in. It's really nice to set up. The bag's a little tight. I don't know if you're gonna mess with that, but you got.
It's like a tight Chipotle burrito is what I like to say. We made a small stuff sack. It's a little hard to get it in there, if I'm being honest with you, but it's not. It compresses it down really nice and tight and small for packing around.
I was MFing him pretty hard on that mountain when I was trying to put it back in wet. Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a great tarp, and I like that you have. How many guy out actual points do you have on there? Because there's a ton.
Oh, there's 4 on each side plus the corners, and then on the short ends you have 2. You have 2 on the short ends.
And your fabric, you can see it here, Luke's a little different. It's not sil nylon, it's not dynamic. Can you kind of go into the fabric it's made out of?
Yeah, so it's a sil poly fabric. So the nice thing about sil poly is it doesn't stretch and sag when it gets wet. So getting a rainstorm, you get condensation. That tarp is going to maintain its pitch,
right?
No matter what the weather is doing.
So if you see like the sil nylon, you get that fatigue when it's actually put up and it gets all
bows in,
gets all slacky. And on the other extreme, like Dyneema's great stuff. It's not packable and it's not very durable. So if I've had one for like 5, 6, 7 years. It's just got patches all over it. So this is a really cool fabric.
Yeah, it's a great fabric. Dyneema's great. It's lightweight, but there's some downsides to it as well, and it's really expensive too. So Talus tarp is going to be like a really affordable, I think, tarp. Is a nice, and it's a real versatile piece that can you can always have one in your pack. Again, you can use it to like take comfort from the rain. You can use it as your primary shelter. It's just kind of a nice versatile piece.
So now adding on to the shelters, you're coming out with a 6P tent this year?
Yep. We just launched a 6-person tent, and it's just kind of the next size class up from our 4-person tent. It's our Sellway 6P is what we call it. 16 feet long, so it's a nice long shelter made out of our same 20D ripstop sil poly fabric. You have a lot of options. It comes with a half floor and a center pole. And you can also run it with a half insert if you want like a fully enclosed
like
double wall shelter.
Nest kind of.
Yeah, like a bathtub floor, mosquito netting for half the tent. Works with our stove. It's a great tent. I've been using it a bunch the last couple of years on prototypes and really like it.
Same material?
Same material, yep.
What's the cost, weight, and when's it available?
It's available, no, it's not available right now. We had a pre-sale, which is over. We'll have it in late April, early May. $875, which includes your pole and your half floor.
With the half floor pole, what's the shelter weigh in?
Oh, this is again where I should know our own product and know the weights. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's right around 3.5 pounds. For the shelter, the pole adds about 12 ounces. And then I can't remember what the floor is. I want to say it's right around like 11 ounces.
So not terribly bad for 6-person
No,
tent.
it's not bad at all. And it actually compresses down like really, really well.
Right.
I did a little video. It'll compress down to about this big. The other one very unique thing we have with our 6P that's different is the way the liner's attached. We have liners for condensation management that you can connect inside the tent. And we have a G-hooks that connect the liners, so there's no tying knots with cord or anything like that. You just simply take the G-hooks, connect them to the inside of the tent, and it's really fast and easy.
You seem to have it like dialed in on the fast, easy, get it up. get
Well,
your.
I don't
get your
like
mess.
I don't like monkeying around with my stuff. You know, I like to be like quick, fast, and easy. Yeah, nobody likes sitting there like fussing around with your gear and your tents.
We go back to the tarp because I don't think we covered the cost, the weight, and the availability either.
So that'll be available in late April, early May as well. And the final price point, which we haven't settled on yet, is gonna be like right around 170 bucks.
$170, and you have some cool stuff that I know about in 2025, so people
Yeah,
need
we
to
do.
pay attention.
Yeah, we have a lot more cool stuff in the works right now. So yeah, I think any given day, I think I'm working on anywhere from like 10 to 15 new things. So yeah,
Right.
a lot of cool stuff.
I got to hit you with a blindside question.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Not really a blindside, but I see this posted on Rock Slide.
I love these questions. Go on.
Okay, so they say you're a rather newer company.
Yeah.
You're a boutique company. You know.
Yep.
What about like? I always see this long-term warranty. What's the long-term future of Argali?
Man, we're gonna keep making products that we feel like hunters want, and they're feeling like the things that I've always wanted, the things that we have always wanted as hunters in terms of like functionality and weight for hunting, for hunters specifically. Like we're gonna keep leaning into that space. Trying not to give away the farm here with my answer, but
Right.
you know, we're a backcountry hunting company trying to make functional products for people, and so everything we make is going to sort of fit that ethos.
Yeah, and it's like that little it's grassroots small culture. They call, they talk to a human. If they have a problem with your product, they talk to a human.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good
absolutely.
stuff.
We take care of our customers. Like we like to say, like if our customers aren't happy, like we aren't happy. It's just that simple.
All right, Brad. Well, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy.